Wow.
Test one, two. Boy, I've never used one of these before. It's such a power trim. Oh, it's so great to be here at the University of Montana campus. This is such a flash for me. You know, 50 years ago, there was a young freshman kid kind of laying against the rock over there. See where the rock is over on the left side of the oval there? And this kid, he was a Highline kid, and he was laying there playing his banjo, and just by chance, the Kaiman photographer happened to go by and get a shot of this kid. Of course, that was me.
We'll change hands here.
But you know, coming to the University of Montana was just such a great thing for me. I grew up as a ranch kid, you know, farm kid in the Golden Triangle, and you know, coming to the University of Montana changed my life forever. It was just so great to have my worldview expanded. You know, I got to wear the maroon and silver for the Grizzlies for 1 year, and we had a pretty good record. I think we were 12-3 that year, and so pretty proud of that. And the fact that I got to wear the maroon and silver was something that was pretty special. But then I auditioned for it and was accepted into a musical group called the University of Montana Jubileers, and they were billed as Montana's finest voices, and that just really changed my life and put my feet on the path to be a performing artist. And so for all these years now, I've really made it a point to really be a voice for the state of Montana through my music and my poetry, but also, you know, to represent Montana probably in a dozen different countries, also as a cultural representative for the Department of Commerce to Kumamoto, Japan, and then also as a board member for the Montana Arts Council. But when somebody, it was actually a University of Montana student that presented the idea about me running for this office, and my first response was, well, what do you mean? I'm not a politician. And his point was, exactly. And so, of course, I really had to search my soul about this. One of the first people I called was Pat and Carol Williams, and they really encouraged me, as well as Brian Schweitzer. They said, Rob, you know, you've been representing the state of Montana all your life. You know, you need to really think about this. And so I did some soul searching for probably the next 3 days, and really it came down to the fact that I love the state of Montana, and I really felt like I had to make this decision to stand up for this state, especially given in mind with all the things that are happening to the state. I mean, we cannot leave this House seat empty any longer. Every day that this House seat sits empty, it gets more and more critical that we fill this with someone who's going to stand up for the values of this state and the people of Montana. I've been to probably almost 50 counties here in the course of this election, and so, of course, I've been on the listening tour because I really need to acquaint myself with what the issues that Montana is facing. And I think the number one issue that I hear about is public lands, without a doubt. That's the one that really sets us apart from the rest of the country. You know, we value our public lands out here because this is what makes Montana special. 29% of our land here in the state of Montana is wild and open country, and you know and I think that many other states around the United States have lost what we still have. I've traveled these states and I recognize this. You know, people out in Georgia, they have to be able to they have to go for like hours at a time just to find a place to recreate, and we do not want that for the state of Montana. No, we do not want that. You know, and I think that the happiest people I know are people who spend a lot of time out in Mother Nature. You know, sometimes when I see somebody that is having a rough day or it's a little depressed or maybe grouchy, I think, you know, perhaps you should take a walk in the mountains or paddle down. And on the side note, maybe Montana should tell that other guy to go take a hike. I know that many of you are facing issues of student debt here. You know, when we were here at the University of Montana, we had these federally insured student loans where you could take out a 1% loan and they were easy to pay back. And now it seems that, you know, with these predatory loans that college students have to face, I think the average student gets out of college with $37,000 in debt. That is untenable. And you make payments on these loans and they don't go down. They just keep going up and up and up. So we cannot saddle our college students with this crippling debt when they're first starting out their life. This is just fundamentally wrong. So once again, it's the wrong people at the table making the decisions for not only student debt, but all these other issues too. When it comes to health care, and insurance companies and pharmaceuticals are controlling the narrative in our health care as well. And so these are things that are so important, and that's exactly why I'm in this. Another thing is really important to me is that I really feel like Indian country has not had an advocate in Congress. I grew up across the river from the Blackfeet Reservation, and of course I have many great friends. I grew up playing basketball and music with Blackfeet and Little Shell kids, and so I'm really acquainted with the issues that the reservations are facing, and so they need help. They cannot have some of these programs that are going to be cut for health care, like these other sides. The other side, their whole goal is to just it's all about privatizing everything and tax breaks for the rich. So once again, this is a choice between someone who's going to stand up for the special interest groups, whose main goal it is to give themselves even more and more tax breaks, and as far as someone else who's going to stand up for the people of Montana. And that's exactly why I'm here. This election is coming up so fast. There's only 28 days now until the election. And so I just want you all to really talk to everyone and acquaint them with the importance of this election. And I often say that this is a fight for the soul of Montana. It truly is. And so we cannot stand on the sidelines anymore. We have to get involved. We must stand up and hold our leaders accountable. And when you cannot stand, I will stand for you. And when you feel like your voices are being drowned out by critics and bullies, I will stand behind this bullhorn to make sure that your voices are heard. So anyway, I just want to say, stand with me, Montana, and I will stand up for you. Now let's go win this
Thank you. I'm a friend of Don Collins.
Oh, yeah.
So glad to see you doing this. I'm more concerned about the national picture. We need more Democrats in Washington.
Well, the fact that they're cutting the national government.
Yeah. And you're going to get some
Well, they're scared. They're really scared. The more the money they put into this, the more fear I can smell in the air.
I saw you guys fish mountain and played twice.
That was a gas.
That was a good time.
Yeah, well, one of the things that killed me is we had to cancel one of our Big Sky Singers concerts up in Kalispell. That just killed me. Yeah, but anyway, the guys are behind me. Yeah, they're my best buddies.
Anyway,
All right.
I live in Third Story Park.
All right. So for the people who are looking up, right? He's coming. He's coming. Yeah, and that'll be a gas. I can't wait to hang out with him. I've already had 3 phone calls with him. The first time I rang, I said, I think this one. I said, well, Senator Sanders, and my whole household just exploded.
I just want to get a shot. That's fine.
Well, the thing is, it's too important. It's too important. We cannot.
That's fine. And it doesn't yeah, I don't think I'm actually
Going back to
Are you guys nice day. We are having so glad you got your sign. Yeah, I got my sign.
I'm starting to laugh.
I'm actually not far from campus. Like, you walk over
Okay, good to see you. All right, thanks. Good luck. I'm going to see Scott. Okay.
I feel like I have been.